And welcome. Happy Friday, everyone, or Saturday, depending on where you are in the world. This is the upstream marketing subgroup, part of Contributor Experience. We follow the same code of conduct as the rest of Kubernetes, which in short is be excellent to each other. Thank you for joining. Got some new faces, and a lot of us hang out weekly together. So we could do like a quick roundtable of who you are, what you're doing, or either what you're doing or why you're here, like what you want to learn and contribute. I can kick it off. I'm Matt. I am the editorial lead for this group, which basically means I run meetings and help people edit stuff and get it into Markdown. Really happy to see you all, and we'll do popcorn style, so it's easy. Chris, would you go next?
I wasn't ready. Hi, I'm Chris. I help out with kind of all things CNCF here, right? So I've been a CNCF ambassador since like 2018. So like I have a lot of connections here and there, but I'm also a writer and social media person. And yeah, my job is technically marketing in the most technical sense possible. So that's kind of what I do here. Writing and social media-ing and helping people learn Git.
Cool. Totally optional, but anyone else want to introduce themselves?
Just because I am new, this is Ignacio. I head Kubernetes marketing for AWS.
Oh, wow.
Edith Aneski, that is one of our DAs, told me that this was happening and told me, maybe it's good for you to hang out with those people. And I say, yeah, absolutely. At least I want to see, do I need to make any introductions, or are you going to make any introductions, or no? Just show up. That's it. They will welcome you. Okay, fine. Thank you, Eddie.
Yeah, that's a perfect explanation of the Kubernetes community. Just show up.
Yeah, show up.
Yeah.
Go there.
Well, welcome. Thanks for joining.
Absolutely.
I can go as well. I guess some of you know me. I am Paul. I am a Helm contributor that kind of fell off the wagon, and I'm trying to get back on the wagon as far as contributing to Kubernetes stuff in general. ContribEx is definitely a thing of interest to me, so I thought I would start showing up to a few meetings and find somewhere to slip in and see if I can be helpful. And clearly I went too long because Chris is looking at his watch.
No, he's probably streaming after this.
It's okay.
All good. All right, great. Well, if anyone else wants to make an intro, they can, but totally optional. Good deal. Well, welcome. Happy Friday, all. Thanks for joining. We break up this meeting into a few different parts. We try to group our work into some sort of campaign, something that's being requested by part of just the upstream Kubernetes community, and help things along. It's tracked through some GitHub project boards, and then we have new items, any new requests or items any of you on the line want to take on, and we can help you through when it comes to writing an article or picking up a bug in the backlog. That's the time where we walk people through and make sure you're oriented so you can get stuff done. And then we break into the back half where we work on items in progress. It's more the meta, like how we get stuff done in the Kubernetes community, which tends to be some code contribution of some sort, but code contribution is not a requirement of this group at all. It's just something that thankfully Rujula ends up making very cool bots that help us be able to communicate with each other across channels very well. Paul, I bet you'll end up enjoying some of the work we're doing there. So opportunity to connect. But we always start with wins. If anyone's done anything cool or seen any big win in the Kubernetes community that we want to highlight or amplify through our channels, anything stand out to folks?
Oh, there was a release, you know.
What release? Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, the 1.21 release is live. There's a blog post behind it. There seems like
blog posts,
yeah. It's nice that it was the first thing I saw where when you search 1.21 or Kubernetes release, the .dev site shows up as the first thing in Google, which is awesome. Great. That means we're helping grow the SEO of that site, which means it's more searchable. I know not everyone's here to talk SEO and that kind of stuff, but I absolutely love it. So it's great to see.
You have inspired me to start reading more about SEO. I will tell you that.
I have a really good resource to send you after this. Cool.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, 1.21 release, the .dev site shows up right away. If you search Kubernetes release, there's quite a lot of sites ahead of us, but .io is the very first one. So either way, our ecosystem is working really well. Oh, cool, Caslin. Yeah, maybe we'll do like a lightning talk on SEO for nerds in here at some point.
Yeah,
I feel like
I could totally do that.
It's really, at first I thought it was annoying dark magic strictly for marketers who are trying to get spam links, and now I find it to be like it's just wizardry that you can master like any other the wizardry that we have to use. And it's very scientific, which is fun because you're like, oh, I'll just experiment over and over again until people show up on my website. But cool. So the 1.21 release is out and about, and that is exciting. Have you seen anything good or negative that needs further follow up? Seems like I've only seen positive myself.
Caslin, has the Twitter's been nice to you?
I haven't seen anything in particular that's like concerning or anything.
Cool.
Yeah, I haven't either. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So on the
No,
go ahead.
Please.
On the release front, so I guess there is a KP in process that's going to change the release cycle. So instead of 4 releases, we are going to have 3 releases starting this release. So do we want to amplify that? Do we want to do something with this?
It would make some sense to like pull into SIGs that made that decision, like SIG release and the release team, whoever else might be in that ecosystem, and just be like, we just want like a 5-bullet thing explaining why we did this. And it's mainly because everybody's workload has changed dramatically in COVID times, right? Like we were talking about it a little bit before COVID, and it was like, it would make some sense. And then when COVID hit, people were just like, we need to do this. So it is a good story, right?
Cool. All right, I'll add that to new items as we can pick that up in a little bit and see if somebody wants to be on point to reach out to people and start to put together a blog post about that. That could be really interesting. Cool. Any other things to highlight? Okay. Campaigns in progress. We always have a long-standing one of we write articles and try to get them to go throughout the wrong call. The Kubernetes ecosystem. delete. So we keep that on a Kubernetes board that's linked here. I'll share the screen to make it a little easier. So starting from closest to publishing back, we've got an article on Michelle Noorali by Bart. Bart, where are you at in that, and how can we help you get that done?
I reached out to Bridget last week, and she got back to me with a couple of points. She wasn't 100% sure if she wanted to be quoted in the article or not. So just waiting for her to finalize that, to decide, what we want to include or not. Her doubts that she explained, one of the doubts she was like, and I'm just going to ask Michelle directly as to whether or not we should mention her age, which I think is totally fair and reasonable. It is incredible. It is incredible that everything that Michelle is doing, given her age, but it's also just incredible no matter what your age is. So that was something that I kept in mind, or that I definitely want to keep in mind, but I think just asking Michelle directly. At this point, to be 100% honest, I just really want to get that blog done.
Yeah. So has Michelle approved it to date?
The thing is, I didn't want to send it to her until
it's closer to final.
Yeah, but the thing is, I can totally pass it off to her right now, like just taking in Bridget's critiques in mind, and then sending that to her because I really want to get this done.
Yeah, definitely want to help you get that done. I really appreciate Bridget's point, and yeah, maybe that's a framing of it that can be kind of undercut the value of her work when you start anchoring it in age. So if you want help or refining that or revising it, well, I'll just ask, do you want help, like a
Yeah.
copy edit?
I would. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone want to claim that?
Tag me in it.
Yeah.
I can help with that part.
Okay.
Thanks, Chris.
No problem, man. I got you. I got
So
everybody, actually.
just a one-man arm. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. One-man Kubernetes machine.
Okay. Just gonna DM you a link to it right now, Chris. So a little easier to find.
Appreciate that.
You bet. Cool. Thanks, Bart. Great update. We've got a few articles in progress. There is, oh man, I'm way past due. I'll be the first one. I'm just gonna write
out in your own meeting. Good job.
Yeah, contrib story kickoff. I think I might have PR'd it. I'm gonna have to look at that in another tab real quick. And yeah, so this is going to be the kickoff to our series of articles. We're doing a series on what your contributor story is from each of our unique angles of why are you here? Why do you keep showing up? We hope to get enough of these out there on the .dev domain for Kubernetes so that it shows all the different types of people, or at least a group of people that others can see themselves in. And if you want to share yours, we're putting together kind of a template for it, or you can just start writing some stuff that inspires you. Piyush, how's yours coming along? I kind of forgot where we landed. Were you gonna PR that in, or did you want me to? Okay.
Yes, and I mean, I thought last week I would be doing it this week, but I guess we can modify that to the next week now.
Fair enough.
I promise I'm gonna do that then.
Yeah, this is open source in action right there. I promise I'll get it done next week. I'm pretty sure mine's in. I'm gonna look at that. You're gonna target next week. And Chris's story is still ready for review. And I think, was it approved?
I thought it was. Well, I thought
yeah,
it was.
It's on hold
Yeah.
still because we want to sequence them in order.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no look good to me on it yet.
Oh. So who? Oh, shoot.
Oh, I think it got removed with some changes.
Oh. Oh, Paris wanted to do. She did want to mention mentoring, I guess.
I think you resolved most of them. It was just that one. And you worked through Bob's requests.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just add a new looks good to me. Oops. And for those new, don't worry about the approval process flow just yet. It's a ton of steps that you will eventually learn through repetition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did LGTM work there? I think you only opened that PR, right? Or did Chris?
Well, I can't quite hear you, Piyush.
No, I was saying did LGTM work on that? Can you just open the PR again? I guess you opened that PR, so I don't think you can LGTM your own PR.
Oh, did I open that one?
Yes, you did. Because remember, this is where you were like,
right.
"Oh, I'm going to make some edits on my fork," and I was like, "Well, I got to commit to your fork so you can commit to upstream." Yeah.
Somebody's having a case of the Fridays here. No,
Mm-hmm.
This is good. Good. All right, cool. And then there's some new ideas in progress. Bart's messing around with a video series. Any updates there?
Yeah, I've got all the. If you want, I just put the document in there that has all the text. So now I've got 2 of them to record their voices. Now it's the question of getting pictures of them to be matching up with the text. But I think we'll definitely have at least one of those by next week to be able to share with everybody before. And I guess my question is, to publish this, we're just going to put it on Twitter directly?
Great question. What's the medium? Like, is it going to be a video directly or a YouTube link?
Yeah, I mean, it can be uploaded to YouTube. It can be uploaded anywhere. There's no. It's really up to. I guess my question is for something like this, what would be the normal procedure?
Yeah, it's a new one for us. So I'd say we're defining a normal. And then I just think about like what properties do we have that you can syndicate stuff to versus publish to it directly.
Mm.
You know, I think about we have our community. YouTube is a strong
Yeah.
place that we send most of our information. So I'd imagine we might want to start there,
Okay.
but and then repurpose it elsewhere. I don't know, Caslin, from social point of view, what comes to mind?
Yeah, I think tweeting it makes sense. I'm trying to think if maybe we could do some kind of blog post that also maybe promotes the Kubernetes contributor stories blog series or something like that. Mainly Twitter, I guess. Always easy to just throw it out there on a tweet.
Cool.
So Matt, I am going to edit that article for Paris because it does make sense.
Okay,
What
great.
she's asking does make sense. Yeah.
Fair enough. And while we're updating stuff, I did in fact PR this in already. Way to go, past self.
Yay.
So that's ready to go. Okay, that's coming along. Knal, did he join this week? Nope. And that's an eventual. Cool. All right, that covers the stuff we had in progress. All right, which gets us kind of to the new item side of things. What's on people's minds? Do you have anything you'd like to be working on that you saw needs work, or are you looking to get involved in a new way?
There is something I want to ask.
Yeah.
Maybe I missed this, but I want to ask what happened to the last week in Kubernetes thing that got merged into us. Do we have you on that?
Yeah, that the last week in Kubernetes was there's an there's an issue that basically requested us adopting it. It's right here.
If now the infra team or the GitHub management, somebody needs to take care of absorbing them in the Kubernetes.
Yeah, I think so. Organizationally, we're officially shepherding the last week in Kubernetes newsletter that Josh Burkus is on point for. And I think unofficially, or like more, I guess, tactically, the GitHub side of the fence is still working through the process.
Yeah,
Looks like
it's got
Nikki,
to do an organizational move, right? So that's not.
Yeah, without breaking stuff is the
Yeah.
the challenging part of that. Looks like
Yeah,
things are
makes sense.
merged. Yeah, I'm not I asked Josh to join one of these meetings and kind of talk through what he hopes to have here, but I think this is 7 a.m. his time. Oh no, it'd be 8 a.m. his time. We'll try to get him on the schedule to like talk through what is this and what does it mean for this group to manage that project. I think it's only in name right now, but it would be cool if we kind of connected the dots. Did you have anything in mind, like things you hope to see from it, Rajula?
No, nothing in specific. I just wanted to understand if there's something we can do better. That's it.
Cool. Yeah, I think related, they're open to new contributors specifically to that project, but Josh and Noah have been curating this for years, and it's always kind of dangled off some group or another. But with us becoming an established working group, it makes sense to shepherd this project in particular. And I don't know a darn thing about it yet, so I'm looking forward to learning more. Cool, great question. I think the other thing that came up is the change to the release cycle. So we try not to keep a long backlog of article ideas unless people want to claim them and go forward with them, because there's an infinite amount of stuff we could cover in Kubernetes land, but not an infinite amount of your time. So if that is of interest to anybody, we can get it on the board, or if you just want to talk through what that would look like, that sounds cool. But
Yeah, I had put the yeah, they've written in the release cadence, there's the readme in which they've put in the motivation for the change. So probably I could put in, assemble a blog post with those 4 points, and that would be cool.
That'd be really cool.
Because they've already put in, they've written an entire, like, it's a huge thing, like, on why they've done it and what's the goals and non-goals and stuff. So
that's really cool. Yeah, and I think a lesson we learned in this group from the PSP deprecation, it might be for the sake of like your time and the approval after you're done writing it to be successful, it might be good to front load connecting with somebody who's on the cap, like who was involved. I'm not sure who led this one.
I guess it was Stephen, right? SIG release let it, yeah, but I think it was proposed, signed off.
Yeah, I was trying to get to specific people. Like, would it be good to reach out to Jeremy, or I know Steven's starting a new job, so probably not a great time for him, or Sasha or Larry.
Yeah, that sounds good. Maybe I can ping any one of them and ask whether it's a good idea to have it as a blog.
Yeah, I think that
or
that
some
would
more
be
information on it. Yeah.
right. Yeah, I bet if you ping someone, like, it looks like Jeremy was the last one to touch it, so he seems active. You could frame it as like, hey, we wanted to get this out further for visibility without sending people to the cap. Would a blog post make sense? Like, kind of, pair up with them and then reuse it. I think that could be a whole thing, right? Because sending a ton of people to caps is exhausting for people trying to maintain them. So if we can summarize them through a blog, which is a lower touch interface for our community, it could be really good at offloading some of that stress for people in the long run. So yeah, Sladen, that'd be awesome and a great way to kind of test that theory, see if it would help.
Yeah, sure, I'm on it.
Awesome, thank you. I'll add that to the board. Any other articles on people's minds that they're like, hey, I wanted to read about this, but I haven't seen it, or I'm like, this is a gap in something that I want to see filled? Cool.
I'm just going to throw this out there just out of curiosity. From listening to the recent podcast from Craig Box where he interviewed where they were talking about the release. I'm just asking this. I mean, I listen to it, but I listen to those podcasts when I'm running, so I probably actually really retain about 3% of what's being said. But from a contributor experience perspective, or just to know, like, to get a photo, like, I always think of it, sort of like those FBI things where you see like all the different people that are connected to each other, to understand for a release to happen. Because one of the things they talked about in the podcast, actually, they're like time zones, just to see just how many people are involved simultaneously to make this happen. How many different people, how many different countries, their backgrounds, experiences, and things like that. To me, as once again, as a sort of technical outsider, just seeing the massive amount of coordination that goes into that and all the things that happen there. There may already be stuff that's going out about that kind of stuff, but I don't know. It's just something that I definitely think there's potential there that could be exploited.
Huh. That could be really fun. Yeah, it's like how a release is coordinated, like who's touching it and when.
Yeah.
Exactly. For this thing to happen, all these different people in all these different places were coordinating for periods of months, and like all the like and you could get analytics, like how many Slack messages were sent, like how many minutes and calls were spent.
Doing that like per release would be an amazing thing, right? Like
then you can be like, we're gonna beat you. Like yeah, that could be fun.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Yeah, you could do it by Slack messages, emails, PRs,
Yeah, the whole 9
commits,
yards. Yeah, exactly.
meetings,
Glasses of
Yeah,
water.
times of
glasses of water.
amount of coffee.
Yeah, Rockstar
estimated
energy
amount
drinks.
of coffee. Yeah.
That's it. And on that note, unfortunately, I got to go. But anyway,
Yeah.
thank you so much. Wonderful to see everybody as usual. Chris, we'll
Great
talk.
seeing you, Bart. See you, man.
Take
Yeah,
care.
man. I got your article open. See ya.
Thank you.
I immediately thought of you, Caslin, like drawing like a sort of weird, wonderful map of like almost playful infographic or style of like it started here, it went here, took this chunk of time. Like
I'd be down.
yeah, that could be really.
I've been interested in that kind of process before as well. I was thinking that we had some stuff around about it, but you can never find stuff once it exists. So
right,
like make more.
The Slack admins would know where to find the Slack stats. The GitHub admins would know where to find the GitHub stats, and we have velocity. We have all this stuff already done in a lot of places, right? Like, and what is the stat site? I forget. Shoot.
Dev stats.
There you go.
That's a thing that exists.
And if there's something we want to feed into dev stats, we can make requests for that. Just saying.
True. Very true. Cool. Well, I'll throw it in as a claimed idea, and if it ends up keeping your interest week over week, Caslin, we can pursue it, and if not, no harm, no foul. All right. Well, this is the point where we kind of pause from the non-code contribution and get into the how we keep the process moving forward, which is more GitHub centric and code centric. If that's not your thing, it's a good time to drop. If you want to hang out, you're more than welcome. So first thing, we go into our bots. We've got a Slack bot to send a ton of messages out and a Twitter bot that allows you to use a GitHub action to send a tweet to our Kate's contributors Slack group or Slack handle. Oh man, Twitter handle. God, they're mixing them up. Yeah. Rajula, anything new you've been progressing on there that you want to get into?
Nothing new, but there was, so when we did the survey on Slack, the message was sent, but there was an error. The error must be somewhere in the logs, so I need to actually catch hold of someone, get the error, and see what it is. And there's nothing much. Maybe next week I can pitch something. Yeah.
Cool. Wait. So what error happened?
So from the Slack UI, it showed an error, but the message was sent in every channel.
Oh,
so
okay.
It must be something from our code. Yeah.
Okay.
And I was wondering, is there some
interpretation of an exit code that went wrong, or maybe,
Yeah, but the error must be recorded in the log. So seeing that will understand what went wrong.
Got you. Yeah. Slack changes their API so much. I'm not surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool though. Hey, it worked. And that was fun. I was wondering, it sounded like in order to use that, you had to manually join each channel you wanted to send to and one at a time.
No, we had to add the bot user to every channel. To add that to every channel, you need to be part of that channel. So now that the bot is there in every channel, now anyone can use that. It's just a one-time thing. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was what I was hoping. It was like a one-time cost, not every time we want to use it, you got to hop through the 8,000 channels that we got floating around. Yeah. Cool. Very cool. Okay. We've got a Twitter bot that's doing its thing. I think we're still pretty far from. Karthikeyan has a really cool PRN that is a load of JavaScript that is outside of my comprehension. The goal of it is to be able to open a GitHub issue and that will automate a tweet. And we don't think we're any closer to that.
Yeah, since Katakayan has been out with baby.
Yeah, it's got a new baby, new
Kind of,
priorities.
yeah. Kind of been on hold for a while. But if anyone wants to review it and check out what that is doing, reviews are certainly welcome.
Paul, I know you like Java more than JavaScript, but it is a.
I love them both equally, which is not at all.
That's not a good sign.
They're both my least favorite children.
Low bar.
In all seriousness, check out that pull request. It's pretty cool how he set it up. It's just like an unabstracted GitHub action function, and that's what makes it a just massive PR. I mean, but honestly, it's only a few hundred lines total. It's not too horrific. It's just more complex than I know how to use. Yeah, something to poke around if anyone's feeling codey. Cool. Well, the back half is usually going through any issues or blog posts that need review and seeing if we want to help out with the larger projects. Anyone have questions or things they want to discuss before we kind of go through and look at random stuff? All right. Well, I'm going to stop the recording and we can go through some issues if you want to hang out or call it an early Friday. Thanks all for watching.